something you wish to sell? Or want to inquire about something you've been trying to buy? If so, For Sale in Belize is the place for you. At the moment, we have great deals on real estate in Belize. Don't have all the money? No problem. There are very flexible payment plans available to suit you. Check us out on Facebook at For Sale in Belize.
At West Track Belize City, we are looking to help you save both your time and money. We've also improved our stock levels to ensure we have everything you might need for your automotive or agricultural needs. Additionally, West Track has added heavy-duty and industrial parts to keep your trucks and equipment running. At West Track Belize City, we understand that your time is important, so we want to bring our services to you at your convenience. Now you can simply send us a message on WhatsApp or Facebook, and we will be right there to help with any questions you may have.
I wear my mask to protect my fellow Belizeans.
I wear my mask to protect the elders.
I wear my mask to protect my baby.
I wear my mask so we can get back to school.
A mask to protect nurses and doctors.
To protect my unborn child.
The people with compromised immune system.
Ni usarish at balkuk rating at alekbib ut heb hin common.
One Korea, we are very happy. One against.
为了大家的安全，我们应该都戴口罩。
मैं अपना मास्क मेरे काम पे और हर जगह जिधर मैं जाती हूँ मैं पहनती हूँ अपने, दूसरों और अपने परिवार की रक्षा के लिए.
Porque me cuido y cuido a los demás, también uso la máscara cuando hago ejercicio.
Did you know that 60% of persons 60 years and older do not have access to a pension plan? 43% of those persons are living below the poverty line. The time to plan is now. Call a Sagicor advisor today. Sagicor keeps its promise to you. Wise financial thinking for life.
Had a really good time tonight.
So did I.
Life moves fast. Be prepared with Sagicor. Learn more at sagicorlife.com.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Matters. Our guest this morning is Dr. Bernard E. Bulwer. He is considered an out-the-box visionary and strategic thinker, and a physician ahead of his time by leading experts at Harvard, Columbia, the Cleveland Clinic, and beyond. Also called the Leonardo da Vinci and the Frank Netta of echocardiology. Dr. Bulwer, good morning and welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
Kindly share a little bit about your early childhood with us. Where did you grow up and how?
I like to say that a Yabra man, you know. I was born in Yabra. Apparently, my mom may have gotten pregnant on Usher Street, right? On the north side of Belize, but as far as I know, I grew up corner Fairwood and Rivera Street. 1-2 blocks from Crawl Road. That's Yarborough, the near Caesar Road, you know, the sea. You just hit Penn Road and you see Bird's Isle. That's where I grew up. That's my territory.
You grew up, what was it like in your home? Did you have siblings? And if so, where did you place?
Me? Siblings? My mom I think my mom got pregnant when she was 15 and she had me when she was in her 40s.
Wow.
Oh, the eldest is like 25 years. My mom, the joke is, you know, bless her soul, you know, everybody's mom. My mom was the most wonderful mom, but I'm number 12. I'm the second to last, actually. I had a younger brother who left.
Okay. Good. What was it like growing up in a home with so many siblings?
Well, I think I had the perfect training for a man in Belize, because I had 5 sisters who made sure that you're not going to be spoiled like your dad, you're not going to eat and don't wash your dishes, and you're going to be well taught and well trained. So I grew up trained heavily by women, right? 7 boys, 5 girls, but nevertheless, the girls rule the roost. And what our dad did and got away with, they were not going to allow the boys to get away with. And certainly I was one of the babies, so they were able to groom me nicely.
It's a good job. Look at you now.
I think you learn to share, right? You had to, clothes was hand me down, right? And I learned, you see, my mom had a restaurant at home. My dad had a workshop at home. So I grew up around entrepreneurs, people who worked. Actually, my mom from her restaurant, right, earned more money than my father, right? I didn't know that until late, but of course, food business, a lot of turnover. My dad made like furniture, big money items, but not the same turnover, right? So if you think about it, people hungry every day, they're paying for their $2-3 meal every day, or whatever it was back then, right? So the numbers added up. Those were critically important years. As a matter of fact, my dad had the farm, 2 farms in Old Boston Village. That was religion. Weekend, on the farm. Come home from school. It's not just about playing around, kicking ball, and so forth. As a matter of fact, exercise. My dad said, "You want exercise? You're gonna get exercise on the farm. Plus, you have food to put on your table, like the people in Boom. Or hey, it's a workshop. When you come home, right, you're gonna learn a trade, right? So I learned how to build things. Served me well, So my formative years, and as a matter of fact, you may have seen a whole series of books online. That's my father's workshop. He gave me the smarts of how to build templates. In other words, you build the furniture, you saved, the molding, right? So that the next furniture could be easier. What that meant is that I have so much intellectual property, right? More than anyone in my field. That's why I've done so many books. That's my part of my claim to fame. But I learned that at the workshop in Yarborough, meaning that I can, the books that takes years to build, I can put them together in a month.
Dr. Bulwer, when you were growing up, you make it sound so simple. You make it sound like you came from a simple place where everything was, I would say, in a line. You had parents that did this, that did that. If you were to say who had the most influence over your life as a child, who would you say?
Well, obviously everything starts at home. I mean, you step out the line, discipline. I learned discipline through my dad, Growing up was not, as a matter of fact, one of the mantras in my family was like this: 1, honesty; 2, respect; 3, the devil finds work for idle hands. My dad, I mean, just think about it. If you have 12 kids, and if you're a responsible parent, and you want to make sure that they're fed, clothed, school, that's serious. I mean, not to get personal, but who nowadays can raise 12 kids? I mean, 7 of us went to universities outside of Belize, right? But it's not that we went to universities outside of Belize. I'm trying to say that we had parents who life was not a joke, right? Picnic need to be fed, clothed, school, right? And make something of themselves. So in other words, like my sisters back then, they couldn't have boyfriends, right? Casually, right? Boys and books don't mix. That's old school. Even prom, I had to come home at 12. Well, actually, for prom, I came home. I had to drop my special date for prom at midnight. But, I stayed out with the boys, but that's like a one-off. I grew up in a home where there was plain and street, one man in the house, right? Right? My way or the highway. If you don't like it, there's the door.
When you were growing up, what did you have plans of being?
Me, I grew up in the old belief, meaning like we played with Pupsy in the drain, right? We used to shoot lizard, yellow bird, catch carpenter, or what we call carpenter. Then on the farm, we had fox and squirrels and all those things. We had like in Yarborough, we had chicken. We had chicken farm in Yarborough, corner fair on Ver Street. I was planning to become a vet. What switched me to medicine? One word, a lady called Sybil Reyes, right? The old generation would know her. She, I think, retired when she was perhaps about 80. She retired and then they had to bring her back. But she was the one who spoke into my life. I used to do a lot of acting, you know. She was training how to speak and how to sing and so forth, even though I had a list, just realized it when I got older. But she was the one who told my parents. She used to search my head and said, this one is going to be the doctor. Old school. But she spoke into my life. And, you know.
What made you make her dream a reality in your life? Because she could have said that, but if your spirit was not directed in that way, she could have talked till she blew in the face.
A lot of people don't realize this. I believe that biblical proverb which says life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can speak life into people. It's just like how someone could talk you down. You go among to nothing, you're this, you're that. I believe words can give life. You speak life, that's encouragement. And interestingly, you know, you never know, but I'm just saying that when someone speaks, it's more than just words, especially if it's someone who understands and speaks to you. She's seen my work product in terms of my attitude and so forth. And, you know, I think those words, like they found fertile ground. And I think what really did it was, of course, going to sixth form. When I went to SJC, I studied the sciences. But even at sixth form, I was toying between becoming a vet versus becoming a physician. The scholarship came up to do vet medicine. I ended up not doing that. It's only when I got the scholarship, what they call, you know, they had the scholarships based on your A levels, the open scholarships and so forth. I got one of those scholarships, and then I had applied to do medical school in Jamaica. And that's how I ended up being a physician. But my parents never actually told me or even strongly urged me to become a doctor. Interestingly, so many of us ended up in the medical field, but none of my parents, you know, were in the medical field. I mean, they had to be doctor and everything for so many kids. But if you think about it, I had two sisters who did nursing and excelled at that. One in the States, you know, one was the director of nursing at KHMH. And then I had two other members of my family in the medical profession. So truth be told, I can't really say, but I'm grateful for what medicine has taught me.
Some moments are worth the journey. We'll help get the most out of every mile. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
I chose Galen because of its strong reputation. Great scholarships.
I came because I can take all my classes online.
Because Galen University opens doors to the outside world. Their course offering in tourism.
It gives me more opportunity to become who I want to be.
If you want to connect with your inner champion to make the world a better place, then Galen is right for you.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because of its perfect portion sizes, and I can travel with it.
Because it's nice and soft and creamy, and it goes smooth on your bread.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because I eat it with my beans. I eat it with my fried jack. And you know why?
because it's nice. Most of all, when you're on the plane, you know they only give you some crackers and you could just take one out and enjoy it with Happy Cow cheese.
I'm Miss Baker, and I choose Happy Cow cheese because it goes well with all the stuff I bake.
Happy Cow cheese. Look for it in a store near you. Distributed in Belize exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we believe our job is very essential in serving our customers. And that is just one reason why visiting us is an experience to be remembered.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we have a reliable fleet of trucks. We specialize in countrywide delivery of all our material.
Coop Sheet Metal is a family business that was started by my grandfather, who even had many of his machines hand-built decades ago to make our products the most reliable in Belize. Come visit us at our new facility on Iguana Creek Road, just past the Belize River leading to Spanish Lookout.
New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize. Hey girl, how you doing? With all that's going on, I needed something to add some color to my day, and Sawyer Paints did it for me. With their wide variety and low prices, I've been able to beautify my space both inside and out. Oh wow, do you know if they have paints for metal? They have paints for everything. They can also mix any color you want. You can visit them at number 12 Douglas Jones Street in Belize City, or if you wish, you can WhatsApp them at 673-3400 to place your order. They can arrange delivery for you wherever you are in the country. Sawyer Paints, exceptional quality at an affordable price. P-Tech has been in Belize now for more than 6 years. We specialize in residential and industrial high-quality glass windows and doors.
I chose P-Tech windows because they're the highest quality I can get.
I chose P-Tech windows because I'm quite impressed about the way they're manufactured. These are double pane glasses. They're called low E. That keeps out a lot of the heat.
Check us out at p-tek.com or give us a call at 671-3842. Live in La Isla Bonita San Pedro and Risky, Belize's largest inhabited island. Lots measuring 75 feet by 50 feet and 50 feet by 80 feet are available in the southern part of the island. There is access to electricity and water nearby. These lots are ideal for people looking for a first start or for those wanting to build equity in these uncertain times. Owner financing is available for 10, 15, or 20 years with a very low down payment. To find out more, give us a call today at 613-2066 or email us at forsaleinbelize@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at For Sale in Belize.
One of the overriding themes that I said in the first part of our interview was sharing has defined my life, how I can help. So in many ways, you know, the stuff that I learned through life is most beneficial when I could impart. And that's why writing, teaching, and then I use various ways of imparting knowledde, one of which is writing, right? And in my specialty of cardiology, it's called echocardiography. One of the things that I have transformed in my field is the way this subject is taught. A lot of people had knowledge. A lot of people know, but then it's here. How do you impart what you know? In medicine, we were never taught graphics. You know, you have to be a photographer or you have to be an illustrator, right? Or an artist. So what I did, which was never taught to me from Boston, which is when I spoke about Belize, what I do is my father's workshop. The hard work I learned in Boston Village, getting up, going to the farm on the weekends, coming back home from school to do homework, to learn to build everything that you could see in this room, furniture. That's a skill that Boston and Harvard did not teach me. So when I did my specialist training, fellowship training at the Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is the hospital right next to Harvard Medical School right here that I showed you, I was invited to do those 2 fellowships. So I did not go through the rat race of trying to find a program. The program came to me while I was in Belize, based on, for want of a better word, trying to tend the sheep, trying to do my part to start to impart to my people what I learned in England. So that's how I started writing that weekly newspaper. I was never a writer, but when my own countrymen said that I can't help my country at the KHMH because they did not have a job, and my specialty then was diabetes and nutrition and preventing heart disease, what happened in my situation was that I actually decided to impart what I learned to the people of Belize directly. And the way that I did that was through writing. And that's why I started writing my weekly newspaper in Mandala. Out of my writing, someone from Boston came, saw my work, saw my background, and said, hey, you need to come to Boston. You had a future in Boston. So I came here on invitation from a Nobel laureate called Bernard Long. And interestingly, that's opened the door for me to meet new people and who saw my talent, because there were a lot of people looking at the heart on an ultrasound called echocardiography. But the thing is, many of them were repeating what they learned. When I asked them to show me, because I was a very structural person, I learned in my father's workshop how things work, how they fit together, how they function, but none of them could have shown me, like that picture that I see, could you show me that on the human body? Because it did not represent what I learned on a cadaver, on a dead body. And my startup is called the Echo Stethoscope Academy, meaning a stethoscope is not a scope. A stethoscope is an audio, it's a phone, a stetophone. But if I take an instrument like this, I have one like this, I have another one like this. These are little pocket ultrasound machines, right? So for example, like this device here, or this device here. I'm on a plane, I'm in Belize. I can look at a human heart or a pregnant baby anywhere, any place, anytime, because these devices now are now hooked up to like smartphones, which means that you can text images. So in other words, even when I did my specialty here, right? Not only did I rewrite how the books are written, I put graphics. If it's echocardiography, it's not echocar word graphic, no, give me a whole bunch of words, show me. So I put graphics in the center, just like my father's workshop. I put it there. And so in the past 16 years that I've been doing a specialty, not only did I create my own book series, but every book that has come out of Brigham and Women's Harvard Medical School has my name on it, right? Both the textbooks by the leaders like Brownwell, Cardiac Cope, that's one of the books that I sent you there. But here's the feedback. He would tell you that he's 91 years old, and his comment to his protege was that this is the best echo book that he's seen. The reason why every book has my name is because I brought something different to the table. But in my very first year, okay, this is a textbook. You'll see my name in the middle. You may or may not see it clearly.
I can see it.
Right? But that's my first year as a fellow, as a foreigner in America. What I've been doing. What is it that Bernard has that he can share? That's the underlying theme of my career, my work, my life, my purpose. how can I benefit humanity? How can I benefit my people in Belize? How can I benefit whoever I come in contact with, wherever I am, whoever is my friend? That's my underlying way I look at life. You may not notice this, but I used to fill this up. I've gotten rid of, I lived the walk. I had put on some weight in the beginning of the year. I took off 16 pounds. I never knew that, this whole COVID stuff, it impacted what I had normally done. And so many adjustments, and part of what happened is that I had put on weight that I didn't want nor need.
How did you manage to lose 16 pounds? Because the rest of the world, especially me, would want to know that.
It's actually easier than you think. It starts in the mind. You have to first want to lose it. And weight doesn't come out of the blue. I mean, obviously, when you get older, once you start jumping the age of in your 30s, 35, 40, your metabolic rate starts slowing down, which means that if you eat the same amount of food that you normally eat, then you will gain weight even without changing your food intake necessarily. And so all I had to do was to change my relationship with food. I wrote, nutrition is my expertise, and, food is normal, natural. But I literally started changing my relationship with food. I enjoy food. I have my cravings for, like today I had cravings for potato salad. I actually found the Heinz salad cream, but I did make nice creamy salad the way I normally did. I made my own rice and beans, interestingly, and I had some big stuff. But I eat when I'm hungry, and I don't clean the plate anymore. I don't throw the stuff away, but that's why you have a fridge. So the short of it, and yesterday I for the past 2 days, anywhere between 5 and 7 miles, I keep active, flexible, so I can roll up into a ball, so it's a mind thing. If you want to lose weight, you have a relationship with what you bring into your house, what you put in the kitchen, what you have around. I mean, now I can have food around and don't be forced to eat it. I can put it in the freezer. I can put it in the fridge. I don't have to finish it, right? So it's a lot of what you call mindful eating. It's not punishment. It's not stuff, because one of the beauty of taking care of your health, because that was my first book, Your Doctor Can't Make You Healthy, is that you really feel and function better, right? Your flexibility, all those things better. You have enough baggage in life already. I'm just trying to get rid of some of the baggage, right? Food is culture, right? It's hard. Let me put it to you like this. I try not to focus on so much losing weight. Even in my first book, when I wrote that book when I was in my 30s, right? What I said, get a grip on life, because if you have a lot of stuff coming at you, life pressures, you got to do this, you got to rush, people to deal with, what have you, you clutter. You see, part of the package deal in my life, you know what was part of the package deal? Is that one, I'm away from Belize. If I was in Belize, I could never write these books. Never. Two, I am one of 12 children. I don't have 12 kids, right? In my life, it gave me the space that I can organize my life. Like, I am literally in a kind of exile, in a kind of sabbatical, which means that when I get up, I start my day spiritually. Then right in my room, I have my little stuff to do my flexibility. And it's funny, when I meditate, I am rolled up in a ball. When I'm heavy, I can't do that. I can go down and squat and come back up without having to push up. What I'm saying is that I try to get a grip on my mind without getting cluttered. And so as a general rule for me is that first get a grip on life, what you want, where you want to go, because that determines the steps you take. And that's a principle. It doesn't matter what. As a general rule, my life, the way I live my life, is that I learned to eliminate clutter. That's how I can get deeper. That's how I can produce more. That's how I can become a giver.
I think for us as a people, whoever the people are, to get anywhere, they have to have clarity. And clarity comes from...
Absolutely. That was the first thing in this year. I was looking in the mirror, took a silhouette of myself, and I said, my hope is for clarity. Just like you have year 2020, you know, that's the phrase that ophthalmologists use if you see 2020, right? Clearly, yes. Clarity. Well, clarity of vision. Let me say this to you, because this is even more important than even this interview, is that in this life, so many people go through life just going through the motions, just doing what everyone does because that's the way it's done. And what COVID-19, now 2020, has taught us is that a lot of the things that we take for granted isn't as for granted as we think. And that's why how you see life, how you look at life, determines the decisions that you make.
But how do you continue to stay focused and present, especially when you are being pressured from angles that you could not imagine?
It's important. Even in this era of turmoil, there's so much turmoil, so much craziness in the world. If one thing COVID-19 showed is that anything that you think is security ain't secure. Tomorrow is not promised, right? And so this life, first and foremost, I have to realize, why am I here? Am I an accident? Hell no. I believe that my creator put me on the face of the earth for a purpose. That's what I'm trying to discover. That's what I'm trying to do at every step of the way. In everything I encounter, how to respond and not react. We're in a sad situation. We don't even know why we're on the face of the earth. We're here today. Bob Marley said, what do you say, live big today, tomorrow you're buried in a casket. What am I, Bernard, supposed to do with the few days that I have on earth? What am I supposed to do with the gift that I have? To give.
How did you recognize your purpose?
This newly built 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home can be yours today. This modern design home sits on a lot measuring 3,750 square feet and has a total floor space of 1,700 square feet. It is located in the quiet neighborhood of Belama Phase 3. We're asking $325,000 Belize dollars. To arrange a viewing, contact us today at 613-2066 or email us at forsaleinbelize@gmail.com.
Me and my Marie Sharp in Brooklyn, New York.
Me and my Marie Sharps in Lake.
Me and my Marie Sharp in St. John's, Canada.
Me and my Marie Sharp, Weda, Guyana.
Me and my Marie Sharp in Chicago.
Me and my Marie Sharp at Hertfordshire, England.
Me and my Marie Sharps in Taipei, Taiwan.
Marie Sharp, world-class products produced in Belize.
I chose Galen because of its strong reputation, great scholarships.
I came because I can take all my classes online.
Because Galen University opens doors to the outside world.
Their course offering in tourism.
It gives me more opportunity to become who I want to be.
If you want to connect with your inner champion to make the world a better place, then Galen is right for you.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because of its perfect portion sizes, and I can travel with it.
Because it's nice and soft and creamy, and it goes smooth on your bread.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because I eat it with my beans. I eat it with my fried jack. And you know why? Because it's nice.
Most of all, when you're on the plane, you know they only give you some crackers, and you could just take one out and enjoy it with Happy Cow cheese.
I'm Miss Baker, and I choose Happy Cow cheese because it goes well with all the stuff I bake.
Happy Cow cheese. Look for it in a store near you. Distributed in Belize exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we believe our job is very essential in serving our customers. And that is just one reason why visiting us is an experience to be remembered.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we have a reliable fleet of trucks. We specialize in countrywide delivery of all our material.
Coop Sheet Metal is a family business that was started by my grandfather, who even had many of his machines hand-built decades ago to make our products the most reliable in Belize. Come visit us at our new facility on Iguana Creek Road, just past the Belize River leading to Spanish Lookout.
New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize. Hey girl, how you doing? With all that's going on, I needed something to add some color to my day, and Sawyer Paints did it for me. With their wide variety and low prices, I've been able to beautify my space both inside and out. Oh wow, do you know if they have paints for metal? They have paints for everything. They can also mix any color you want. You can visit them at number 12 Douglas Jones Street in Belize City, or if you wish, you can WhatsApp them at 673-3400 to place your order. They can arrange delivery for you wherever you are in the country. Sawyer Paints, exceptional quality at an affordable price. P-Tech has been in Belize now for more than 6 years. We specialize in residential and industrial high-quality glass windows and doors.
I chose P-Tech windows because they're the highest quality I can get.
I chose P-Tech windows because I'm quite impressed about the way they're manufactured. These are double pane glasses. They're called low E. That keeps out a lot of the heat.
Check us out at p-tek.com or give us a call at 671-3842. Live in La Isla Bonita San Pedro and Risky, Belize's largest inhabited island. Lots measuring 75 feet by 50 feet and 50 feet by 80 feet are available in the southern part of the island. There is access to electricity and water nearby. These lots are ideal for people looking for a first start or for those wanting to build equity in these uncertain times. Owner financing is available for 10, 15, or 20 years with a very low down payment. To find out more, give us a call today at 613-2066 or email us at forsaleinbelize@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at For Sale in Belize.
Well, I had to be brought to my knees. Actually, my first spiritual encounter was when I set out to be a doctor. I wanted to put Belize on the map. That's when I went through 6 to 8 weeks of not being able to think. That's when I got a touch behind the scenes, not in the church, not in anywhere, in my flat. And it was like a night and day experience. I was a man who was in turmoil for like 6 to 8 weeks, couldn't think.
How old were you?
And then, I was 19.
How old were you when you had it, sorry?
I was 19. Then 19, that's when I know that my life changed. Nobody could tell me that my life did not change. I had an encounter with my maker, right? It was in my mind, it was in my inside. It's just like when you're in a relationship, nobody can tell you anything about that because it's how you relate. Well, Bernard Bulwer, I knew who I was. I know who I thought. I was self-centered. My motivations were different. I knew that when I finished with that encounter in my room, D31, Chancellor Hall, in the mid-1980s in Jamaica, what happened then was a transformation. How I know? I had my little brother. You had asked me about my family. I had one little brother. I hated him. I did everything to make him miserable. I put him down. For the first time in my life, I came back home after my transformation and I hugged my little brother and I told him I loved him. I saw the tears came down his face. From a brother who he looked up to, but who was mean to him. I realized the impact then of your life and your decisions on others. And interestingly, this has been the beginning of this journey because I linked up recently with the pioneer. You know about the stethoscope, right? You know for the first time in history, what you're seeing here, what you're seeing here is a historical instrument. This is not just an ultrasound. For the first time in history, if I put this on my chest, right, you cannot just see my heart, but you can actually hear my heartbeat. In other words, this is the real stethoscope that you can see as well as hear. I'm not going to fill with the stuff for one of it coming back, but I'm using just lotion right here. You don't have to use it, special gel. But if I put this here, this has never been seen or done before in history, because the debate that you had to, the debate was that you had to stop, either use a stethoscope or you use an ultrasound instrument. I'm just putting on some color here on this thing. 1 second. Heart. But this instrument that I'm putting on here will let you both see and hear the heartbeat in real time. And I can actually, let me put it on the color so you can actually see my blood flow in it. I'm showing you something that has never been seen or done.
Wow.
This had never happened until this year, March 2020. So I linked up with a pioneer. My company is called the Echo Stethoscope Academy. This man, he pioneered the portable devices in 1999. And in Belize, in the central bank, I went to visit a friend. And this is Echo and a stethoscope all in one. He was walking for 20 years in a direction, hoping to meet someone like me. And I was there for the past 16 years, right? Saying that the day would come when the stethoscope and Echo would be joined. And that's the purpose of my book. And remember I told you about using what you have for the benefit of people, right? So I look at life, what is my role? What is my purpose, right? Those books were not me deciding to write the books. These are gifts that I got from my father in Yarborough, from Belize. You know, I got invited to Boston. How can I help? Doors open, whatever I can cook and bring to the table, that I cooked. And the more I tried to help people, the more ideas came, the more abilities. I created more than 500,000 works in echocardiography in terms of like a puzzle, which means that books that it would take people 3 years to do, I can do in 1 month. I, Bernard Bulwer, MD, MSc, RCS, FASC, I'm not qualified to lead the ship. I'm not the captain of the ship. What is my job? What is it in my hands? What is it that I have to give? That's the true story of my life. I'm not going to come here with some, you know, I am just a young one of 12 growing up in a little country from Belize in Yarborough, right? And by the grace of God, my life took journeys and detours that I did not orchestrate. I am honest enough and humble enough to tell you that. That's the story of my life. My greatest achievement is to win the trust and friendship of people from the world over. The way I can make a difference is to try to let people through my life know that you don't know what you're missing until you know what you should be getting. If you're in a bad relationship and all you get is abuse and misuse and you don't know better, that's a story we're all familiar with, right? Life is a relationship. If there's one word that defines everything, Einstein was looking for a theory of everything. If there's one word that defines everything, it's the word relationship. Using the smartphone is a relationship. How you live in a country, how you live in a society, how we relate with others. That's how the theory of relativity comes about. What is my role in how I relate vertically, horizontally, man, woman, boy, girl, profession? That is, life is simple, but people complicate it. And how we complicate it because we put a lot of clutter, a lot of craziness, a lot of crazy agendas, and we confuse ourselves, we confuse people. And you know how you know that is the result. When you have confusion, there's chaos, and you go down, it's destruction. When you have clarity, when you have purity of conscience and a desire to uplift anyone, man, woman, boy, girl, if you're not a user, if you're not an exploiter, there's peace and there's harmony. And this is what I think that this world desperately needed. Sometimes, just think about it. If you look, you're in the media, all you hear every single day is quarrel and fuss and fight. Every single, oh my God, every single day, headline, news, quarrel, fuss, fight, killing. We're living like animals when our Creator created us to live at a higher level. I believe that we were made, we were created. It's impossible. It is impossible. Everything you see in this room here, every single thing was made by someone. We never say, oh, who made that? Who made that? The human being, we were created as little gods in the image and likeness of God. Interestingly, we reject God while we are acting like we're gods. Could you imagine? We are trying to dominate other people. We're trying to control other people while we claim that we don't believe in a maker. That's what you call double standards. Nothing around us just happened. But when it comes to something which is infinitely more complex than anything we made, we say, oh, that just evolved. That is garbage. Total garbage.
You have a lot of great ideas, but you sit there. One may say, Dr. Bulwer, why don't you come home and physically help us as a people to get to the end goal? What would you say to them?
I think I contribute more to beliefs than many people who call themselves leaders in beliefs. I walk the walk. Belief gets on my mind. Belief is a lot of the amount of energy and time that I put into belief. You see that open heart surgery program? You saw it on YouTube?
Yes.
I came to the KHMH for 2 years. That hospital, what was the headlines? Chaos, theft, greed. Went there for 2 years. In 2 years, we had the hemodialysis program, rather than people going into private, where you had 24 nurses trained, telemedicine from Boston. But you know what the gangsters do? They try to destroy that so that the private practice can serve. That's the kind of sick mentality that's happening in belief. Now you understand why they don't want Bernard Bulwer around. I tried to help University of Belize. The students could get over 1,000 scholarships to universities around the world. The system doesn't want that. The system wants to give scholarships to their friends, family, groups, tribes, etc. So you understand why I'm not in belief. And I wanted belief to succeed. But when you get older, and especially if you have seen life, if you have gone abroad, if you have learned how it is to thrive in the midst of animals, and if you have learned how to overcome discrimination, hatred, destruction, and not becoming an animal the way they wanted you to become, and then you also feel like you have something to give, that's what I want to give to belief. That's what I write. Trust me, I communicate with people both in government and in society and so forth, because I have not divorced myself to believe. As I said, as a doctor, just to let you know, you don't lie to patients. If someone goes to you with symptoms, do you just give them medication and they keep coming back, or do you try to get to the root of the matter? So even my first book, Your Doctor Can't Make You Healthy, I was trying to let people get a grip on life and treat their bodies well. What happens? Diabetes goes away, high blood pressure goes away, they minimize the risk of heart attack and stroke, right? So if you get to the root cause, you fix a lot of stuff. If we start taking care of each other, will we be a killing society? Will we be a society where you in position and power? Is that to frustrate, to chance it, to take advantage of someone who is not in your shoes? That's what I write, because I wanted that there were no secrets. When I die, I want to die empty. I want to lay, just like the sportsman said, I want to lay it all out on the court. I want to give it all away, because if you just hoard things, what you do, you get fat and you get cluttered mentally, physically, and spiritually. What I wanted to do was to do my part to pass it on, flow, circulation. I'm in cardiology, the cardiovascular system. What kills most people? Blockage. They put too much junk in. And when you have junk around, just like you have guys hanging out on the street, the devil finds work for idle hands on the street. The devil finds work for idle food inside your body. If you eat more than you need and just greedy, or if you want to greedy money or greedy power, what you do, you create clutter rather than circulating and passing it around. That's smooth circulation. What we want to do, we want to strong arm and keep stuff for ourselves. That's our problem. This device that I showed you here will one day be in every village in Belize connected, so that the people around the country can get access to women who are pregnant, you know, all those kind of places, and it will be connected and networked in Belize and abroad, so that they could consult with doctors at home and abroad. That's one of the things I'm working on, just to let you know. So then, you know, I haven't spelled out everything, but I'm doing stuff that is impacting the world, right? And this guy, just to let you know, when he joined with, you know, said, hey, Bernard, I want you on board. He wrote a long letter, CEO wrote a long letter, and in the last stuff, he said, what do you need for your country? He's going on vacation in Belize for 2 weeks with his family, you know, for this Thanksgiving. But the agenda is to make sure that the smarts, the skills, technology that I have here is for Belize. So as I said, nothing that I do at this stage in my life is based on me and self. So if this door opened for me, that is also for Belize. But the level at which I operate, if you notice, some of my books are in Chinese, some are going translated into Japanese, of course Spanish, you know, Belize, Mexico, you know, Spanish is an important language, and French, you know, and in the languages of the world. But the stuff that I have here is for humanity. I am from Belize. My neighbor string is born in Belize. That's the land that I have a responsibility for. So I haven't run away from Belize. I haven't. I still carry a Belize passport.
Do you think one day you will find yourself in politics?
Me? Politics? You can't pay me. You see, let me tell you the economics of how I operate right now. Okay? I could never imagine myself campaigning. Never. I would never run for politics. If I'm invited to serve my country in a capacity, of course I will. Who will turn their back away from that? But politics in terms of becoming a politician, hell no.
Do you believe that Belizeans in the diaspora should be allowed to vote?
Could you imagine? I cannot vote in Belize. I, Bernard Bulwer, cannot vote because the system tells me that I have to be resident in Belize for 4 months continually before I can vote. You know why that is? When it comes to politics, when it comes to the kind of dynamic how human beings operate, we really operate at a low level in the sense of trying to make life miserable for other people. And that's what we have. We have a bunch of big insecure people there, and the diaspora poses a threat because they make money that is not on the domain or jurisdiction of the state. And so they can vote, but they have to give up their earning. So that means that they become weak, so you could control them. That's human nature. That is human nature. That's the bottom line. Everything else is just gimmicks. It's just the bottom line. These are a bunch of unruly Belizeans who could say things that you can't control and you can't punish them. So the best way to deal with them is to collect their money when you're campaigning, ask for help when you need them, but they can't vote.
Do you think that there will be a day when that would change?
Oh, yes, it's coming soon, and here's why. You can only play a game for so long.
You say that one of the 3 problems that Belize is suffering from is that there is no agreed vision for the country. How should we go about creating this vision?
You know, to keep it very simple, just look at this. Everybody has a vision. You meet a man, or a man meets a woman, when you have a kid. Everybody has a vision for their kid. They find a name, they plan how they're going to clothe, where they buy, where they on this, where they going to school, this and that. That's a vision.
Yes.
That's a vision. It means that you have something precious and you work towards it. You dream, you think, you plan. Everybody does that for their kids. Could you imagine if I was a leader, you were a leader, and you have the powers of the state to make a difference so that not only your children or those of your friends, family, or your party, and you say, you know what? I love my neighbor picnic just like I love care for myself, and I will look for opportunity. But when you come from small country, you like watch one another. You want to be better than this one, and this year one, yeah, and you gossip about this year one, and who this one year they sleep with, or who have this and who have that. That is where envy, strife, malice, those things are biblical, those are spiritual things. I'm telling you, I've been liberated from hate, spite, jealousy, envy, negativity, using people. That's a spiritual act. That's why I give all praise and thanks to the Most High, because I could have been anything but for the grace of God. Nothing special about Bernard. I grew up in a Yabra, you know.
Dr. Bulwer, you've been kind, you've been sharing a lot. You said a lot of things that I didn't know and I didn't expect for you to say, but nonetheless, you said it, and I believe that it's beneficial to all. It gives us something to think about. The question is, what's next for Bernard Bulwer?
I want to just continue to show love, you know, to humanity, to every person in this life who has a beating heart is a special creation made in the image and likeness of their maker. Someone who is precious, someone who is worth time to encourage, to think about that little person from a little part of the world where no one has known. That's in part the story of my life. I came from Yabra, used outdoor toilets, stuff like that, one of 12, hand me down, etc. But by the grace of God, there was some body somewhere, civil race, there speak to my life. My parents take care of me. Someone gave a scholarship. I met this one along the way, and this worked out, this didn't work out. So in the big scheme of things, I am just doing my part.
Thank you for stopping and sharing with us this morning. Any final words?
Life is short. Let us try to take care of each other. You know, we're all messed up in different ways, but we all have a gift that the world needs. For my countrymen, I really pray that people understand why we're on earth. It's to care for each other. What's too hard about that? If you have made a difference to help your fellow man, isn't that what this is about? I mean, we say we believe. We can talk about the story of the Good Samaritan. What's so hard about that? People are hurting. People need help. People need healing. You have some smarts. Pass it on, right? I don't see, to me, life is too short to waste time doing anything else.
Dr. Bulwer, again, I say thank you.